G'day guys, welcome to the Devon Too Good Investing channel. Today, in this video, we're going to have a look into Corsair Gaming and I'm going to do a price prediction of where I think the stock can be in about 5 years time. We can see year to date that Corsair has taken quite a tumble, and you can see that over this period, Corsair has dropped 23% year to date. Then about 2 weeks ago, I had the opportunity to buy Corsair at about $25 in that $25 to $26 range, which I did take advantage of, and you'll see why when I get to my price prediction. So just in the case you guys didn't know, Corsair is a company that has two parts to their business, two main core parts. The first one's gamer and creator peripherals, and then the second one's gaming components and systems. Currently, gaming components and systems is the larger part of their business. However, it's lower margin and it's not growing as quickly. Then over here, the gamer and creator peripherals, it's a smaller part of the business. However, it's higher margin and it's actually going quite rapidly. And I expect over the next coming years, the gamer and creator peripherals revenue will likely overtake the gaming components and systems revenue. They sell your normal sort of products such as keyboards, mice, gaming headsets, performance controllers. That's really under the Scuff brand that they have. Streaming gear, that's mainly under the Elgato brand they have. They sell high performance memory, computer cases, power supply units, cooling systems, and also they sell complete systems. Now in 2020 they did $1.7 billion of revenue. However, the company are guiding $1.9 to $2.1 billion in revenue in 2021. And you can also see that they've grown revenue at a CAGR of 25.7% over the trailing 3 years, which is very, very impressive. And what makes Corsair quite special is that they have 4 different brands, and these brands that they owned all sort of combine together to create a complete product suite for gaming and gamers and streamers. You can see here you've got the microphone and the keyboard, performance controller, you got the lighting, you got the full system here. And over the past multi-decades, it's been a multi-decade trend of the gaming market just growing and growing, and we can see that the gamers and the market size, it's grown to 2.6 billion global gamers, and it's an industry that is $149 billion globally. And that's just esports and competitive gaming. And not to mention the millions of spectators as well that are watching this. What this tells me is that the gaming market and the gaming sector in general is, I find it hard to believe that it's not going to grow probably in the double digits for the next 10 years. So I think the gaming industry is a good place to put your money. I mean, it's hard to argue. And then, there's some people saying, oh yeah, like COVID, once that's over, what are people going to do? They're going to go outside again. But let me tell you one thing. Streamers like to stream, gamers like to game. It doesn't matter if it's raining outside, if it's sunny. It doesn't matter. They're going to keep gaming and they're going to keep buying gaming products. And I think Corsair is a perfect brand that appeals to the hardcore gamer and streamer. And I think this is actually quite an interesting slide here because we can see that there's considerably more mobile gamers than there are console gamers and PC gamers. However, mobile gamers don't spend money on these peripherals and streaming gear, etc. But you can see that as players sort of migrate, you get these mobile gamers and they're like, oh, okay, well, I kind of like gaming, so I'm going to give console gaming a try. And there's considerably more console gamers than there are PC gamers. And then, the console gamer, starts to get into more hardcore gaming and they might buy a custom controller from the Scuff brand or, a Corsair headset. And then all of a sudden, they're like, man, look, I really want to become a PC gamer now as they become more hardcore and they graduate. And PC gamers obviously spend a lot more money on Corsair products. And then again, these hardcore gamers then might, trade over to becoming a streamer. And then there's even more gear to buy. So it's this progression of gamers that are going to drive future growth for Corsair. Just to illustrate this sort of move from casual to committed, you can see that the casual gamer, they've got basic gear, basic laptop, basic desktop, and then as they become more committed, they bring in these headsets and custom controllers, mice, different types of memory, and even, upgrading their chair. And what's also super interesting is that in 2019, the total PC games was 224 million. However, over 80% of the gamers are casual, and then only 13% were competitive and 5% were committed. However, out of all these gamers, you can see these casual gamers actually spent less money than the committed and competitive gamers. So what's really core for Corsair is over time that these gamers who are casual, they convert to committed and competitive, and because they're the guys who spend the majority of the money. So if we look at the top line of the income statement here, and this has been put out graphically, you can see that from 2019 to 2021, they grew revenues at 55% year over year. However, we can see the gamer and creator peripherals grew at a much faster rate of 83% compared to the gaming components and systems of 45%. So clearly, the gamer and creator peripherals, while it's a smaller portion of the revenue, it is growing a lot more rapidly and is slowly closing the gap on gaming components and systems. And what also is crazy as well is that the gamer and creator peripherals, they actually have better margins than than the gaming components and systems, which means that as this gaming and creator peripherals becomes the largest segment of the revenue, the overall gross margin of the company is going to expand and it's going to become more profitable over time because of that. In terms of full year guidance provided by the management, we can see that they're predicting net revenues of $1.9 to $2.1 billion, adjusted operating income of $235 to $255 million, and then adjusted EBITDA of $245 to $265 million. So before I go and give my price prediction for Corsair Gaming, let's just remind ourselves what we like about the company. So number one, they're in a huge total addressable market that is growing year over year and will continue growing as far as the eye can see. They're growing revenues at double-digit rates. Their gamer peripheral section of their business, which is higher margin, is growing at a faster rate than their gamer components and systems business, which means that the company will experience margin expansion over the coming years. And they're already profitable. This company is already profitable, chewing a profit. And look, they got a bit of debt, but they're paying that off really quickly. That's no issue. And of course, the CEO, Andy Paul, he founded the company. And I love companies with pretty much their own founder who is still in the business, and he also holds some stock. So if I jump over to the discounted cash flow I've done for Corsair, I've entered in last year's free cash flow. And I think the most likely rate that Corsair will grow at over the next 5 years is probably around that 14% mark. So all the way out into year 5, that gives us a free cash flow of $325 million, which I have put into this box here. We can also see that I think that Corsair Gaming will be trading at a multiple of around 20. So pretty much what I'm saying is in 2025, Corsair Gaming will have a PE multiple of 20. They've also got about 100 million shares outstanding. So pretty much if I multiply 2025 free cash flow by the terminal multiple and then divide by the shares outstanding, this gives us a 2025 share price of $64.95. So from the current share price of $29, that gives us 124% on the upside, or in other words, a CAGR of 17.5% over the next 5 years, which is pretty good. For me personally though, I'll be waiting until the shares pull back. Well, I've already bought some shares, but if they pull back again into this $26.61 range, that's when I'll be loading up again, because that will increase my CAGR. However, look, it is representing quite a nice upside right now, and it does have a little bit of a margin of safety. Anyway, guys, that was my price prediction for Corsair Gaming. Hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.